stepping in when Ewing was in foul trouble. In the fourth quarter, Indiana making just 5 out of 22 shots. In warm and wonderful Miami, the Bulls and the Heat, Michael sharpening up. Jordan bumped by Kevin Edwards and then hits the jumper anyway. Michael goes around Ronnie Cycli here, and the Bulls had a 7-point lead in a hurry. But Baby Jordan, that's what he liked to be called in college. Harold Miner for the Heat. Look at him go between the legs and lays it in off the cushion. Miner working on Jordan here. A little showtime before hitting the jumper. He had 10. Miami led by 4 at halftime. But then Jordan slaps it away. And Scottie Pippen's his way to go, Michael. Miner taking a seat and watching Jordan take over from there. The swipe and the slam dunk. Jordan finishing with 39 points, 30 of those in the second half, 14 out of 16 from the free throw line. The Bulls 19-0 against the Heat lifetime. And Ronnie Cycli said, hey, we're getting closer. They used to beat us by 20.
The St. John's Redmen used to be among the elite in college basketball. Early, rejected by Chanel Scott. These two are reminiscing about their days when they played high school ball in New York City. Then Mashburn, more of a mess. 1 of 13 from the field. Only 1 point in the first half. Mahoney's Redmen stayed with Kentucky. Barrett, the outlet, and the nice lay-in. Rick Pitino's Wildcats go inside. It worked. Roderick Rhodes, what a game for him, 23. But Kentucky was down by 1 at the half. Redmen keep it going, keep on the pressure. David Kane, the outlet to Barrett. Kentucky, though, comes back. Mashburn with one of his few nice moves in the game over Chanel Scott. Kentucky pulls away, and you know Mr. Mashburn loved doing that. Kentucky coach Rick Pitino couldn't say enough, though, about the Redmen's defense, calling it the best Mashburn has faced in 3 years. Mashburn only finished with 7 points. Arkansas, Northeast Louisiana, tough defense by Northeast Louisiana. Johnson making the steal. He had 16 points. Nolan Richardson, not a happy guy. Here's why. Scotty Thurman with a good defensive play. The steal. Now watch Thurman. Easy dunk, right? Wrong. Ray Biggers, though, gets the rebound and is there, and he blows it. Richardson just can't bear to watch. Indians will put the game away. Rodney Raymond feeding Stewart. Stewart doesn't miss his slam. He had 19. And Northeast Louisiana sending Arkansas to their first loss of the year, and it was Northeast Louisiana's first victory over a ranked team since 1975. Well, reality set in for James Madison. They played Seton Hall. In the first half, Davis with a missed jumper. DeHare getting the ball. Watch this move. Just gorgeous. Hall would take a 13-zip lead in this game. Late in the first half, it's DeHare again. Upper part of the screen. Watch him. Coming down the court. Puts out the elbow and catches the lip of Kent Kaluko. Kaluko doesn't like DeHare that much. Says a few words. Still in the first half, Danny Hurley finds Luther Wright to Leahy on the back door. Leahy with 12 points, one of 4 Pirates in double figures. Drizel and PJ having a few words that were not pleasant. The 8th straight victory for Seton Hall. Luther Wright named the tournament MVP. He scored a season-high 16 points. Duke doing it up big against Boston U. Yes, it was a romp. Bobby Hurley to Hill for the slam. The Hurley show continued. Behind the back, a la Bob Cousy to Hill for another flush. Then it's Hurley, one of his favorite moves here, the alley-oop to Hill. 2 more. Hurley, 8 assists. Hill, 17 points. Hill to Hurley, 11 points for Bobby. Duke wins this one, 106-62. The Blue Devils were up as much as 55 points in the second half. Reserve center Eric Meek, far from it, poured in a career-high 21 points for Duke, and he added 11 rebounds. Here's what happened elsewhere in the top 10. Colorado taking 3rd place in the Rainbow Classic in Hawaii. Montross with 28, and Georgetown with a surprisingly tough time with Cal Irvine. Othella Harrington had 14 for the Hoyas. Chris?
In the tie, Rolando Blackman with Ron Harper in his face. Does he call the glass? No, but it counts anyway, not to score at 86. That gives Jackson a chance to be the hero. Gets the ball, drives the right-hand side, the shot, too hard off the glass, and into overtime they go. The Knicks with a 1-point lead, but the Clippers with the ball, a chance for the final shot. John Williams to the right-hand side, Gary Grant wide open, he buries it, and the Clippers win it by 1 at the buzzer, only the Knicks' 2nd loss in 15 home games this season. The Nets, who have a better record on the road than they do at home, are in Charlotte tonight looking for their 4th straight win, and this is a high-scoring affair. First of all, Alan Bristow gets a technical early in the game. Then Kenny Anderson to Chris Morris as the Nets go on a run of 12-2. But Larry Johnson with a hot hand. This closes out the first quarter, a 3-pointer. Then in the second quarter, both teams getting hot. Drazen Petrovic to Derek Coleman. He slams it through. And then just before half, again before the buzzer, Larry Johnson in the lane. Larry Johnson at 20 in the first half. He's now got 30 and counting. And Charlotte, a team record 75 points in the first half. They're going to hit 100 in the third quarter. They're up by 10. The two teams with the worst records in the East are meeting tonight in Washington. The Heat and Bullets, each with 8 wins. The score 74-69. The latest challenge for rookie Shaquille O'Neal, the Detroit Pistons with the NBA's leading rebounder Dennis Rodman, and the villain Bill Laimbeer. Expect the new year to be very good to the Orlando Magic. They have a stretch of 26 days in which they do not venture out of the state of Florida. One of 7 consecutive home games tonight against the Detroit Pistons, a team they have never defeated. Detroit 12-0 going into this game. Terry Mills, look at this shot. Terrible, an air ball out of bounds. It goes the other way. Dennis Scott to Nick Anderson. He had the hot hand early, gets a three-pointer right here. Jeff Rulin's back. Olden Polynice was injured, so they got Rulin out of retirement, but this one gets swatted away by the Shaq, and then Shaq goes against Rulin with a nice move in the lane. And Dennis Scott with the alley-oop to Shaq. And so far, it's a close one. Orlando up by 169-68. The Lakers continue their 6-game Eastern swing with a stop in Cleveland tonight. Lenny Wilkins sporting a new holiday tie, but his spirits dampened a bit because Hot Rod Williams has been placed on the injured list. Mark Price in the lane over Vlade Divac, but Divac says, hey, I can do what you can do too. 3-pointers. Watch this one. Wide open. Larry Nance can only turn around and watch as Divac buries it from long distance. Then the Cavs in the break. Terrell Brandon. Great move in the lane. Gets the hoop. Cleveland pulling away in the third quarter. They're now up 88-73. Among the 4 division leaders, the Bulls have the biggest cushion. We'll see how they're doing against the Indiana Pacers. Lost 5 in a row, but Indiana with a 1-point lead. Dallas at Minnesota, 45-31. Dallas has won only twice all year. 4 games yet to begin out west. Golden State has won 4 in a row. So has Sacramento, including a 58-point win over Dallas last time out. Portland without Clyde Drexler will try to stop Utah's 4-game winning streak, while Denver tries to end a franchise record 12-game losing streak. Charlotte, an update for you right now. 101-99.
Georgia Dome and the silver anniversary of the Peach Bowl, but it's the first one under the dome. The touchdown to Orlando Truitt gives the Bulldogs a 7-0 lead. Mack Brown had to regroup, but it'd be the Bulldogs who would reload. Kenny Roberts on the 23-yard run gives the Bulldogs the 14-0 lead, but it's Carolina leading now with about 2 minutes to go in this one, 21-17. Carolina now in the fourth quarter. In college basketball, January means conference battles. How about an interstate rivalry with Lon Kruger's Gators take on who you saw before, Charlie Ward's Florida State Seminoles. Ranked 18th, Bob Sura, the sophomore.
The Pirates on this road odyssey. Tech jumped out to a 12-2 lead in the first half. Thomas Elliott inside, but the Pirates would come back. Lester Lyons on the layup. 2 of his 11, but he would struggle from the field from the outside. Kevin Armstrong tips the ball. The turnover, Wilbert Hunter had 8. He gives these 2 to Kevin Armstrong, who played very well. Recovering from that knee injury. Also recovering from a knee injury from last year, Ike Copeland, who had 14. He continues to play strong. Ronnell Peterson, the drive and the foul. He had 18, 4 threes. Pirates in the final minutes in this one. Tied at 60, though. We go to overtime. Jay Purcell, who led Tech with 25, ices the game from the free throw line. 76-67 was the final. East Carolina losing, and Coach Eddie Payne afterward talking about the missed opportunities. Tonight's Orange Bowl hero looking on. Charlie Ward, he'll be back for the Seminoles game with Virginia on Wednesday. Doug Edwards inside. Sam Cassell had 30. 3 here from the outside, but Scott Stewart for 3 for the Gators in Florida on the road. Pulls the upset. 89-86. Was the final. Also from the ACC, Midget Bacote in Johnson City, Tennessee. Michigan State at East Tennessee State. Spartans on the go. It's Mike Kroplowski with the slam. And Jerry Pelfrey for East Tennessee State with the steal, the hoop, and the foul. The Buccaneers trying for the upset, but Kroplowski inside again. Michigan State from the Big Ten just too strong. 80-69 was that final.
Clippers absolutely stunned the New York Knicks in the Garden. Watch this. Gary Grant, the general, at the buzzer. It goes. The Clips clip the Knicks 98-97. Did you like that? Stay with the NBA. We've got more. The The Charlotte Hornets need a win at home against the Nets. They trail by 1 with time running down. They get it to the man from Illinois, Kendall Gill. Yes, the Hornets win at the buzzer. Hornets 118, Nets 117. The Hornets stop a 2-game losing streak. Stay in the Central Division. The Chicago Bulls take on the Indiana Pacers. And sometimes Michael Jordan can't get open, so sometimes they get it to Horace Grant. Late in the game, Chicago was leading Indiana 97-92. At the Richfield Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio, the Cavaliers win their 10th game in 11. Danny Ferry with a hoop. Danny getting some playing time tonight. It's Cleveland beating the Lakers 106-91, Cavs by 15. In Greensboro.
Jordan deep over the middle. Nobody's there. North Carolina will take it over. Coach of the Tar Heels of North Carolina. The final score, North Carolina 21 and Mississippi State 17. Stay tuned for Sports Center, which is going to follow next. For Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten, I'm Ron Franklin saying thanks to the folks here in Atlanta and the Peach Bowl. They have been wonderful. And good night from Atlanta, Georgia. Sports Center is coming up next.
Hi, Mary. We're running right on schedule.
For Davis, 15 lead changes heading to the fourth quarter when the Pacers come unraveled. B.J. Armstrong to Jordan ahead. Oh, slams it home. He had 39. Armstrong serving up Pippen as well, who had 18 in the second half, and the Bulls win it. Yes, 109-100. As Jordan gets 39 for the second straight game, Pippen adds 22 as they win their 7th in a row. Pacers have lost 6 straight, including a week ago at home to Chicago. That's their longest losing streak of the season. On the Richfield Coliseum, the Cavs trying to stay within range of the Bulls. Long range. Mark Price hitting the 3. Then Lade spots James Worthy. He hits from long range. Teams combined to shoot 61% in the first quarter. Then paid the price in the second. Couldn't find anything. Paid the Mark Price, who misses not once, but twice. Couldn't find anywhere he could hit from. He scored just 11 in the game. James Edwards no better. Buddha couldn't even hit his trademark shot. Clank. They combined for 33% in the second quarter. Then in the fourth, tight game broken up when Craig Elo leads a 16-5 run by scoring 8. They hit 8 of their 9 shots. The one they missed, Terrell Brandon, who then followed it up by making that one himself. And Lenny Wilkins' team wins it 106-91. Their 3rd in a row. They play at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday, then turn around and host the Bulls on Wednesday. The Lakers are in the midst of a 6-game road trip. Bucks and Bulls up next for them.
Dennis Rodman averaging more than 18 rebounds a game and leads the league, yet the Pistons were reportedly close to a trade that would have sent him to the Clippers. The deal fell apart at the last moment. Detroit apparently demanded Danny Manning. Rodman, Dumars, and Isaiah all logging heavy minutes. Pistons in Orlando against the Magic, and Rodman busy, hitting the boards and pleading. In the first half, Dennis Scott looking for Shaquille O'Neal, throws it up there to him, and he shoves it down. Shaq with 28 points and 16 rebounds. Here he uses Jeff Rulin for 2. And the Magic had a 19-point lead in the second quarter. Dennis Rodman may be thinking about throwing in the towel, but the Pistons in the second half did not. After shooting 1 for 9, Joe Dumars, 3-ball side pocket, that goes. He hits another 3. In fact, hit 7 of 8 shots in the third quarter, had 17 points, and then Dumars blows past Nick Anderson off the cushion. 32 on the night, and the worm returns. Isaiah the bullet pass to Rodman the hoop, and some harm, and they rally to pull it out. 98-97. Dumars scoring 23 of his 32 in the second half. Isaiah Thomas had 17 points. Rodman only 16 rebounds. Low for him, but his team wins. In Charlotte, the Nets and the Hornets. Third quarter on the break. Watch Muggsy Bogues just leave it for Larry Johnson, who sticks it. He had 32. Kenny Anderson to Drazen Petrovic. Throws it up there. It's on there and in there at the end of the quarter. Then Chris Morris ties the game at 1:15. Nets take a 117-116 lead. Kenny Anderson, you see how much time left? 12 seconds to go. Called for the backcourt violation. So the Hornets have a chance to take the lead. Bogues pass, batted, but Kendall Gill throws up the jumper with 4 seconds to play and gives his team a 1-point lead. Still, the Nets a chance to win, trailing by 1. Derek Coleman, the shot. The clock runs down, and that is an air ball, and the Hornets hang on to win it. Some mistakes for Chuck Daly's team that should not happen. Hornets win it 118-117. LJ 14 of 18 shots from the floor. Mourning had 18 points and 10 rebounds. Derek Coleman did have 26, and Kenny Anderson 15 assists. Earlier in the day, Clippers and Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Danny Manning helping the Clips up to a 6-point lead. Mark Jackson had 18 points and 8 assists. Late fourth quarter, Jackson, the big turnover, as the Clippers led by 1. Then the Knicks trailing by 3 in the closing seconds. Rolando Blackman for the tie off the cushion, and that counts. Goes to overtime. In the OT, the Knicks go to Pat Ewing. This off balance and goes. They have a 1-point lead. Last chance for the Clips. Williams to Gary Grant. This is at the buzzer, and he hits it. The Clippers with a dramatic win at a place that they usually don't play well, so that's reason to celebrate. They sweep the 2-game series with New York after having lost 12 straight against the Knicks. Ron Harper had 20 points, 13 rebounds. Danny Manning with 16 points and 13 boards.
Do you believe it? Chapman with 34, and right now he could make it from outside the building.
Oh, yeah? Well, in this week's edition of Encore, we'll show you some guys who would just as soon tear the whole building down.
3-on-1. Slam! Alley-oop put down. Wow! Sealy works down the left side against Bryson. Anthony Bonner on an isolation on Leitner. Gets the baseline and finishes.
All right, that may be fine for the big guy. But when you're a bit smaller, you have to be a little more creative to score.
And there's the foul.
Oh, those little guys can be so pesky. Check out Isaiah buzzing around the high.
Ripped away by Larry Johnson. Isaiah steals. Does it count? Yes, it does.
Whatever Isaiah ate for breakfast, teammate Mark Randall must have had some, too.
3 deep. Right and through. Mark Randall something at the horn.
But if you're talking about chucking it up, no one can top the excitable Chuck Person.
Person will try a 3. Jumper is good.
But that was only the start, as Chuck got it going against the Kings.
Chuck another 3. And another make.
Woo! It's a good thing he's learned to keep himself under control these days.
How about the loose ball going back to Person? Another 3. He's putting on a show. Go ahead, Chuck. Look at Chuck Person.
While Timberwolves fans are getting used to Person in Minnesota, Charles Barkley wants to meet every fan personally in his new home.
And he's kind enough to apologize to the woman he's sitting on right now.
Check out Rex Chapman looking graceful.
Excellent half-court execution.
Want to see some real execution? Then listen up as Larry Johnson slays the Hawks.
Just another play in the NBA.
Coming up, we'll see what's going down. And look who's got the ups in our courtside countdown.
Jump off for Minor. Oh, what a shot by Harold.